I've been meaning to ask you, so Anubis, tell us about all the places where you've ever lived.
Welcome back to Some Partners in Grind.
Just 1 second, can you do that again?
Welcome back to Some Partners in Grind.
Oh, excellent. So you did manage to repeat that. That's really good.
Did you doubt me, Sal?
Never, Anubis. How could I? I did just doubt whether or not my recording picked up the first one. If it did pick it up, then I shall, of course, put both in.
Both of them in, that's right. Yes. Whenever somebody makes a mistake or does something funny in an opening, that just becomes the opening.
It does.
Because for whatever reason, our group is the kind of group that seems to just want to pass the opening buck off to everybody else but themselves.
Yeah. I don't know why that is. It's because I've always been comfortable doing openings, and it's only now that I'm here and it's all part of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably because Boris keeps trying to shuffle it off on everybody else, so I think everybody else just tries to find a way to make Boris do it. I think that's how it started. Because that's our kind of group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. It's a good group.
It is. Very fond of you. Except you smell. I mean, I wouldn't know that. It's just that Apple's told me.
Yes. He's got he has a smell-o-matic installed on his computer.
There's a nice big haul of silver here.
Yeah, there's actually quite a bit. It's huge. And then that gold, like I mined quite a bit of that, and there's still tons over there. But I have been noticing, yeah, so I'm at 0.8 sim speed over here. I did go back up to 1 for a little bit there, but we've noticed that the server is starting to get a touch slow again.
Yeah.
Or again, like the new server is starting to get a touch slow. So we're gonna do some maintenance and hopefully it can fix it up, because we're just getting started.
And actually, that might be why I have mined so much less gold than you, because I'm on a 0.3 sim speed again.
Ah, that could be a good reason. But I'm gonna go with my ship is better than yours.
I've got the best ship.
Yeah? How much gold do you have again?
Well, let's see. If you were to multiply mine by my sim speed, you'd still win.
Well, there you go. See?
Yeah, it's all in the wrist. You've got more wrist practice, that's it.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I've been mining some silver here for quite... probably... Every once in a while I have to check my inventory. Make sure that... my drill's starting to fill up now.
Right.
So my cargo container is full. And my drills are... Ooh, they're getting there. I'm gonna be running out. Running out soon. I might have to make a trip. So much for my, I can last 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I think because we've been drilling solid this entire time. Normally we, like, fly off to another asteroid in between, right? So.
Yeah. Oh, something really bad. Oh dear, what's going on there? Oh, it's not my sim speed. My sim speed's up to 0.56, but something really bad happened there. I just got a really bad performance spike.
Like it just, the whole thing froze for half a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that happen to me too just a minute ago. Didn't last very long, but it did last long enough to be noticeable.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything on the multiplayer update in a while. I really hope that's soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, it's sort of the thing that Boris is holding out for, isn't it?
That's what we're all holding out for.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what we were saying in another episode at some point.
Yeah.
Not of this. I think it was Motley or Mary, but oh, I've lost it. What was I about to say?
Multiplayer update, Space Engineers, optimization.
I think that we're all just holding out for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know what it was, that we all love this game. Like we harp on it, you know, quite a bit sometimes. Oh, hey. We harp on it all the time, but I think the only reason that we complain so much is because we love it so much, right? And we want to keep playing it, and we obviously push through and persevere because we're on here all the time.
Yeah.
Playing and doing things, and but it's just that it's because we love it so much that we complain, which is funny how that works, huh? Because if we didn't like it enough to complain, we would just stop playing, and then we wouldn't complain because we wouldn't be playing it.
Indeed.
So it is a testament in a strange sort of way.
Yeah. So if we didn't like the game, we'd be happy.
That's right. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, we're an awkward bunch.
And by bunch, you mean humanity?
Probably. Yep. Indeed. Yeah. Anyway, I had an idea for a story.
You had an idea?
Yeah. A story for you to tell.
Uh-oh.
Because it was something that occurred to me ages ago, and then we got distracted before I ever asked you, and I made a note to myself to ask you, and that was, you mentioned how you have how you've lived all around the place. You came out with a random comment that said, I think it was because you're from a military family, and that's how come you've ended up living all around the world.
Yep.
And I was like, I've been meaning to ask you, so Anubis, tell us about all the places where you've ever lived.
Yeah, well, I had a father who was an officer in the Canadian military. He's retired now, but I've lived quite a few places around the world, I guess. Like I've lived all across my country. We had many postings across Canada, so I don't know how much people know much about Canadian geography, but
it's big.
Yeah, it's big. I currently live in Western Canada, in Alberta, which is close to the Pacific Ocean, but one province away.
I was going to say Arctic Circle.
Yeah. I've never actually been up into northern Canada yet, like into our territories. So we have there are 3 different territories up north that are actually in the Arctic Circle. But yeah, like I've lived all across my country, and on the East Coast, or close to the East Coast, close to the West Coast, Central, as well as my father got posted to California when I was in, what was it, grade like 3, I think it was for me. So a young tyke.
They mean nothing to me. You just have to tell me the age.
Yeah, see, and it's funny because I have no idea. I have no idea how old you are in any grade. I only know where I lived by what grade I was in. Because for whatever reason, that's just how I measured it all. Everything is about, I was in grade whatever, and I lived in X place, right? So my father was posted to California for officer training when he was moving up in the ranks, like to go from one level to another level. He had to do a certain training, and they offered it in the States. So he went there for that. But yeah, so I live in California, down in Carmel by the Sea, down in Monterey area, which is a beautiful place. And when we did that, we actually, on the way back from that, we moved from California back to Ottawa, which is in Canada again. It's the capital of Canada. We actually drove from California, so way down on the Pacific side, close to Mexico-ish, down in the United States to Ottawa, which is central Canada, but it's still closer to the east coast than it is to the west coast. So we drove across all of the states between them. It was a 11 or 13-day car trip, I think. We drove it. And so yeah, the entire family in a sedan driving across. And I have 2 sisters, so there was 3 of us in the back and my parents in the front. It was a full car for 11, I think it was 11 days straight of just driving all day long and then stopping at hotels along the way and having a blast. And my parents getting extremely annoyed by the ever inventive games that we would invent in the back seat. So I've visited quite a few of the states because of that trip, but I've only lived in California. And then outside of North America, I actually spent. My father got 3 completely separate tours in Germany. So I actually lived in Germany for a grand total of 6 years.
Wow.
But it was 3 different tours. So there was one tour that was 3 years long, one that was 1 year long, and then one that was 2 years long. And
whereabouts in Germany?
In Western Germany, because at the time the wall was still up.
Yeah.
And I lived all 3 times we lived in a city called Lahr. And it was where the Canadian military base was in Germany. And so it's in western Germany, but close to the Rhine, and close to kind of like the southern, close to like France, like south of Belgium and all that. Close to more where like France and Germany actually touch. Like that Alsace-Lorraine kind of area.
Yeah.
But so it was more like not right as on the border, but kind of in or like on the Rhine. But we were 3 different postings there, and then when I lived in Germany, there was school trips in Germany were to France and Switzerland and England and like all over the place in Western Europe, because again at the time the wall was up and the Iron Curtain was down, right? And my father was a officer in the Canadian military, so I wasn't allowed to go visit even over on that side because of security concerns. But yeah, I visited pretty much quite a few anyway of the European countries, Western European countries at the time because of that.
You've just reminded me of something. Remind me to tell you about a relative of mine who used to guard Rudolf Hess.
Ooh, okay. All right, I'm full.
But yeah, carry on. Oh.
I can't mine anymore.
I've got loads of room.
Of course you do. Well, actually, I don't have a waypoint on this asteroid yet. This is a good asteroid, so I'm going to put a waypoint here, and then you can keep on mining, and I'll fly home and drop this off in the share crate.
Yeah. Are we doing the share rules? Are we?
Yeah, because I remembered this time. I didn't actually mean to take all of that other stuff last time. I just completely forgot. It's like, I'll just start this refining while I go back. New from current position, and so this was what it was.
Silver,
gold,
nickel, gold.
Silver, nickel. And I'll leave that one on so I can get back here, and then I got to turn on my base one as well. So my audience will get a bit of a fly in my episode as well. So now I need to.
I don't mind pausing if you want to pause.
Oh, it's fine. We'll just keep chatting. You keep mining. So where was I? You want me to keep going, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so like in Europe, I visited the United Kingdom, but I've only been to the southern part of the United Kingdom. I've been to... I never actually made it to London, but I made it to Dover and Canterbury, so down along the southern edge there. And I need to bring... Okay, we got that centered. And to my full power, I am. Cool. Yeah, so So I went to the United Kingdom, only in the south. I really want to get back to the UK though, and go north.
Yeah.
My younger sister and my father and I are all history buffs. We love history, and my younger sister she is completely fascinated with the kind of like the Tudor period of English history. Yeah. And so it's unbelievable. You talk to her about anything in that period, and she just like names and events and places and like everything, right? It's really fun to talk to her about that stuff. I'm more of a ancient history buff. I love the older stuff. So I like all the Roman times that were in England, and then anything prior to that as well, like the Druid stuff and all that is super interesting to me.
Now that's my speciality. I even subscribe to a magazine called I think it's the British Archaeology Society's magazine.
Oh,
it's the only magazine that I read. And yeah, I mean, the UK is full of prehistoric remains.
Yeah,
fascinating stuff.
It's pretty cool. We have a trip, and my father is just more modern history, so kind of like 20th century and forward. But he loves it all too. But that's just kind of like, I guess, if we were to gravitate to a particular period, that's kind of where each of us gravitate to.
Yeah.
But we have a trip planned where we want to start in southern England, like in London or something, and then make our way all the way to the Cornwall Peninsula, and then all the way up the western coast.
Yep.
All the way up into Scotland, and then bounce over to Ireland, right? Kind of like from that direction.
Yeah.
But there is a fort called, and I'm horrible at pronunciation, but there's a fort just somewhere along where Hadrian's Wall was on that coastline, called Media Bogdom, and it was like right up in the mountainous area, and it was very kind of secluded. And when the Roman forces were being pulled back out of England, or out of that area back to Europe to protect itself as it was collapsing, it was just kind of abandoned and left and walked away from. So it's and then forgotten about, and they didn't discover it again. Archaeologists and stuff discovered it again in something like, I think it was like the 1700s, or a very, very long time later, right?
Yeah.
And then it's been protected and preserved since then. So it's like a really, really well kind of preserved Roman fort from that period. And I want to visit it so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. It's actually one of the whole reasons for taking that route was so that we could pass by that fort. But yeah, so I have ambitions to keep traveling all over the world and everything as well. But yeah, I've been to France. I've been all over the place in France because for Canadian history and all that kind of stuff as well, we visited a lot of the military, battle sites of World War I and World War II. From in schools trips, right? Because it was all part of our, history courses and all that kind of stuff. So we visited quite a few places. I got to go to Vimy Ridge, which is kind of like the battle that put Canada on the map as its own country, as far as the rest of the world was concerned. After that battle, we kind of made a stake for ourselves as an actual country that could contribute. and because it's one of those moments, I guess, in our history. And so I got to see that and a whole bunch of other places in France, all over the place in France, but never went to Paris. You're going to see a trend coming along here in a minute. But yeah, so all over the place in France, mostly on the eastern side of France, closer to the German area, obviously, because it was school trips. And then, I've been to Switzerland as well. I've been to Italy, most of the northern places in Italy. When I was living in Germany, so Florence and Venice and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Milan.
Yeah. Cargo container. Trying to. What was it? I think I called this thing the share. Share. Oh, what's going on here? Where's the? Oh, did I not connect? Oh, I actually have to lock in place to. I'm like, why can't I find this? The sharing container. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here still. Did you never take the stuff I put in there, or did I never take the stuff I put in there, or does it automatically pull?
It's mine.
Sharing container. Is that yours?
I'm prepared to say it's mine.
There's gold and silver and magnesium. Yeah, the magnesium you never took any of this.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
I'm like I said, I'm more than happy to say it's mine.
Well, it's too late now. Now we're combining, so we're gonna have to split whatever's in here again. Because I have to drop everything off, right? That's the whole reason I came over here.
Oh
wait,
sure
no, I think it. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it. Oh no. I don't know. Whatever. We'll just split whatever's in here.
Okay. I think I'm probably getting the better part of the deal, though. I'm sure I took what was there. I bet you didn't take yours, because it's where you were.
Maybe I didn't take mine. I don't know. But yeah, so I've been all over the place in Europe like that. I actually took a trip back to Europe as an adult again and did, what's that? The island of Crete. Mm-hmm. And from there to Greece. I went to Athens and all around in Greece, and then from there back to Italy. But I went and did kind of like what was it? Napoli, and then to Rome, because I'd never been to Rome. So that's actually the first kind of like capital that I did.
Yeah.
So I did Rome and all of that, and had a blast and all of that. And then recently I've been to Iceland. I went to Iceland last year and did a huge hike all the way across Iceland. So yeah, that was kind of... So mostly Europe and North America. I haven't been to... I've also been to Australia. I went and did a whole 5 weeks in Australia on the east coast. So starting in Sydney, and then I worked my way all the way up to Cape Trib through Queensland. So kind of almost all the way up to the top on that side. I can't think of anywhere else that I've been right now. But yeah, so mostly Western Europe and some of the East now, I guess, with some of my later trips, and Australia. But I haven't done Africa. I haven't done any like the Asian countries yet, and I really want to go to like China and Japan, stuff like that. And South America, I haven't been to South America or Antarctica. So out of the continents, I guess those are the 4 that I haven't been to yet.
Yeah, so I spent a lot of time in South America and a lot of time in China.
Yeah, but we're out of time again, so
we'll talk about that some other time.
That's right. So talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.